Hey everyone, welcome back to the Basically Sisters podcast. I'm Natalia.
I'm Ashley. Happy Monday,
Happy Monday.
as usual.
Literally as usual. I hope you get we don't got wine this time.
Yeah, ciao.
We needed a break. Well, that was the first time we
Honestly,
did
I
that
feel like we
anyways.
need the wine tonight, but
Yeah,
we
honestly,
move.
I don't even think I
We,
have anything where I am right now, but
I don't have any. All I have is
we were chatting last week with the wine though.
Ciroc and tequila. That's all I have, and that's not. That's no. It's a no for us.
Yeah, but we hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. I had a good time recording that episode. It was very
That
chill,
episode,
laid back, and it was hilarious. If you guys haven't seen our reels, if you haven't, first of all, watch the YouTube video. Second,
facts.
check out the reels.
Yeah,
Or do both at the
yeah.
same time.
It's sick because I be cracking up when I make those
No,
reels. I
Ash
really
sent me
be out.
that, and I was really done because
It
that
was
was
the music.
hilarious.
I thought about it. I was like, oh my god, this is the perfect music for this
We
situation.
had minimal space to work with while opening up those bottles. I didn't have like any space. I had like literally this chunk. I had like
Yeah,
my glass here, mic, laptop, and like a little chunk to open this this wine bottle. I'm like, okay.
ciao. It was a process. That was a lot of editing because that was technically a 2 hour, over 2 hour long recording.
Yeah, that was
So
a long.
we
It
had
was a
to,
Saturday night though, so we were vibing.
yeah, we had to chop it up a little because ciao, it was getting a little too chatty. We were telling our
We were
feelings a little
chatting.
too much.
Yeah, the wine got to us. Talk about
Wine
wine,
was,
wine
yeah,
tipsy. That was us. Revert to that episode.
yeah, we get chatty. You
We
think we're
get
chatty
chatty.
now?
That happens with wine though. What is it about wine? I need to look
I
into
don't
that. Like, what
know.
is it about? Because it's both alcohol. What is it about wine versus doing other alcohol? They make you feel different. Because wine, you're feeling like smooth, relaxed.
Yeah,
Other
chatty.
alcohol.
I could talk about any topic.
Yeah, other alcohol, you're feeling like different. Like I'll feel like really, really. I don't know honestly how I feel. Like I can't pregame to wine and go out.
Cause wine is not a
I did that one
pregame
time, but
vibe.
I did that one time at a party though. I drank a bottle,
I'm crying.
and I drink a bottle. You're feeling it.
Well, I remember one time. Remember when we went to the that hockey game
Oh
and
my
we
god, there was
we
something wrong
pregamed
with it.
at
We
we pregamed
pregame,
at someone's house while they were all at the hockey game.
yeah, I don't know what. Well, we had to put our stuff down. We're like, yeah, let's pregame because we were late. I forgot why we were late, and we're like, let's
Yeah,
pregame, and all we had was like, we didn't have. We had wine. What?
we
Where
had
did this
wine
wine?
and tequila,
Why did we bring wine?
and it wasn't like just a bottle
No,
of wine.
we didn't
It
have
was a one
tequila.
and a half liter.
That was
So
no,
we
we
already
didn't have
pre-gamed off
tequila.
the
It was
wine.
only we only had wine. That's why. Because we would have pre-gamed with something else.
I thought we
Yeah,
pre-gamed
there
with
was
wine and
no,
tequila.
it was just wine. Because that's what we're like, oh, we don't have
Child.
anything. Yeah. Anyways, regardless, wine
Yeah, the
gets us
wine be
chatty.
making yeah,
And
the
we're
wine
probably gonna
be
do it again though. Because I was vibing. Maybe with
that
a
might be a
guest. With
monthly
a
thing.
guest. That might be a monthly, yeah, like a little unpack. Maybe with a
Yeah,
guest. We'll
unpack
see.
the month.
Depend. Unpack. But yeah. Anyways, but how have you been? I feel like we literally just recorded. Well, we kind of did.
Well,
We're
we did just
pre-recording.
record because we have a busy weekend ahead of us. So,
Yeah, we
we're
had a lot
recording
going
this a
on.
little early, so there's that. But I've been all right. I mean, I feel like I've actually talked to you every day since we recorded. So, not much has
Yeah.
changed.
And that is rare, low key, because we like talk, but we're busy, so like we don't talk every day.
Yeah.
You know what
Like
I mean?
we'll send each other text messages, but it's not like, like we're actually
Hey,
engaged in the conversation at the same time. Like it's like she sends me a text at like 7 a.m. I'll
unless
respond
something
at like
happened,
1. Yeah, unless
or
something
like,
happened.
or like you, we can't. Yeah, but it's not like. Yeah, we're in that phase of our life where it just our
You
timing.
catch me when you
Like
catch me, babe.
we would chat, we would FaceTime, but
Exactly.
like we just don't have time. Our calendars, our schedules just don't line up. So,
At all. So
but
we be
yeah.
recording at
Anyways,
funky times.
yeah, we recording at weird times. We don't. I feel like our texting too. Like it takes a while for each of us. I don't even know. Anyways, but Yeah.
And
So nothing, no new
anyways,
updates.
nothing's no, not to my knowledge. Any new updates with you?
Let's see. No new updates. Oh, first time recording in my new apartment.
Woo
Welcome.
woo.
Y'all can't get a
She
tour,
said,
so
"Well, what is it? Bienvenidos. Is that welcome
bienvenidos. Yeah. Wow, look at you.
to mi casa?"
How do you say it in Italian? It's close. Bienvenue or something. Anyways.
Girl, all right. I think they already know you. You try to learn French. She over here trying to spice it up with the Italian. What the hell? Where did that
I'm
come
gonna
from?
learn another
Why
language one
Italian?
day
Why did you choose Italian to
because
try to figure out?
I've seen it on a mat, like a doormat. That's why. Like, and it's that's what I was thinking.
What, at an Italian restaurant?
No, I've seen,
Like,
that
where
would
do
be
you
so
see that?
corny.
That would
Um,
be not cute, but hey,
but yeah.
cheers to them.
Anyways, no new updates really this week. Just this is the first time I'm recording in my apartment, and yeah, just same old. Been busy, and but I'm excited to record today. And yeah, I don't think we have any. Oh wait, actually, news. By the time you guys are listening to this, Hispanic Heritage Month already started. Um,
Oh,
so
cheers to that.
happy Hispanic Heritage Month to
Yes,
everyone who
period.
celebrates. I'm gonna be
I'm
celebrating
a
all month.
celebrate.
We're
Yeah,
gonna be celebrating all month. I'm hyped. So, have you seen those
I'm
memes?
hyped too.
I'm posting some memes on the Instagram, like those
I'm
ones
crying.
like when it's like a history month and everyone's like
Yeah,
it's history month. Don't talk to me or whatever.
yeah, yeah. That's funny.
Anyways, but yeah, that's really the only new update. But yeah, I guess we can kind of just like dive into our new topic, or not our new topic, but what we're gonna be focusing on this week. A little bit of a change. Listen, we're versatile on this podcast. All right.
Okay,
One thing about us is we're bringing topics. Okay.
okay. Period.
last week we
So
talked. Last week we talked about the Queen, our liquor of choice, and recommendations. Still waiting for Rex, y'all. Anyways, well, we literally just
facts.
posted
Oh
like
no, my brother did give me a rec. My brother did give me a rec.
oh,
He
what's the
said
rec?
the rock, like his tequila is good. He said it's good.
Okay, I
So
have heard about it. I haven't tried it. All right, we can give it a
so
try.
we're gonna
We'll
have to
let
give
y'all
it a
know.
try.
We'll review it for y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna have to search high and
Or should we
low
put in our put you on
trying to find
segment,
it.
our liquor of the week? To put you, yo, no, we're
Jesus,
not.
not a liquor of the week.
Maybe wine
Jesus.
of the week.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways,
But
we
that's
don't
the
even
only
be
book.
drinking that much to be trying new things like that.
Exactly. We would try it what, once every month. Like, you're not, first of all, you're not catching me drinking tequila every weekend. Do you know what I would look like? Okay. I did that in college, and that was, my liver
Well,
said,
that was bad
enough.
tequila. Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyways, we're gonna try out that and let y'all know. But yeah, we're jumping to something a little bit different this week. We're not talking about dating. We're not talking about
Thank God. Ciao.
yeah, I need a break from the dating because Jesus, every time I listen, I'm like, okay. It just makes you realize
Yeah.
how annoying dating
Yeah.
is.
I get it. Dating sucks, guys. Yep. Thanks.
Which we are trying to have a better
We know.
outlook on.
We know.
um, but yeah, so we're talking about something that I feel like is very relatable, which is burnout. No matter what phase of your life you're in, I feel like most people are dealing with burnout, have dealt with it, feel like they're dealing with it, have overcome it, or whatever. Maybe you haven't even realized you've dealt with it. But yeah, so I kind of wanted that to be the focus because I feel like it's very relatable, especially with different phases in like my life. I'm sure you can relate to like we felt
Mhm.
burnout. It's maybe we haven't been able to overcome it. Maybe we have. So yeah, what are your overall opinions on burnout, or have you ever felt burnout?
Whew. Hell yeah. Of course I felt burnout. Definitely in college. That was like, I mean, I felt burnout in like high school a little bit, but not really. But college was when I was like, yeah, this is for the birds. Like I was full time. Most of the times, like most summers, I was taking summer classes. I was working all the time. I was tired, babe. like exhausted, like mentally exhausted. Then like, going out almost every weekend. Like
Yeah.
it was a lot to balance. And especially in college, I feel like you can't not necessarily learn how to
Hmm.
balance everything, but when you're burnt out. Like that's when you learn
Right.
like
Yeah.
what burnout is, because that's
Right.
like all cylinders just going off in your head because it's just so
Yeah.
much going on. Um, but I also think even in like work and things like that, especially like the corporate world, I feel like any person of color or minority definitely has to, they definitely struggle with burnout because you have to work like 90 times harder
Right.
than your Caucasian counterparts. So in
Hmm.
that aspect, you're working harder too. So yeah, definitely I've experienced burnout before. And it sucks because
Yeah, it's
then it's
not
like
fun.
when you some I mean, for some people you notice it immediately, other people you don't realize it until it's like you literally have like a breakdown to the ground, like it's clipped. So yeah, I've experienced it, and I try to not go back to that point of my life because that genuinely
Yeah,
sucks.
it's really hard, and I feel like you said, like you don't really actually know what it is until you go through it. Like I feel like it's really common. Like people say, "Oh, I'm burnout. I'm burnout." Maybe it's so overused the word that people don't take it seriously, but it is really serious.
Hmm.
Like because once you face it, like it's hard for you to focus. It's hard for you to get anything done. It's hard for you to like be happy with your life. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. It
Hmm.
just makes the simplest tasks so much harder to do. You know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I feel like the college one is so relatable because if you're not burnt out in college, like props to you because I feel like I was burnt out by the end of like college, and like senior year like was really my like wow, like I was burnt out, especially with COVID towards the end of us like having to push through that, like finishing that
Yeah.
last like few weeks during COVID when everything went virtual, everything was a hot mess. Like that was really hard. And then like you said, we work every summer and we don't even get the summers off. So like I worked that summer and then I went to get my master's. I was so burnt out my master's, and I think that's why it made it really hard for me to just like even the simplest tasks I realized were just like it took so much more effort. And I didn't even
Hmm.
really come to that conclusion until like towards the end of my master's. I'm like, why was it so not harder, but I felt like I was more tired after I finished that master's. When I was like, really, it wasn't as many classes as my undergrad, and I had more free time, but I felt more tired. And like
Hmm.
clearly I was burnt out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I could only chow and shout out to anyone that like gets their masters after their bachelor's, like directly after, or
yeah,
goes to grad school, med school.
yeah,
Eh,
that's
I don't know how y'all do it because I was so burnt out from just school alone, and then I got a job, like a full-time job after that, and I was just burnt out. And it sucks
hmm
because it's like you're right, like little tasks that are supposed to be like, not like easy, and not necessarily easy but like doable when you're not burnt out. When you're burnt out, it's like, oh my god, like you are fighting through it, like, and typically it's like you have a lot of things to do too. So it's
hmm
like just trying to push through that is just hell. Like
it's bad.
I could only, and I feel like college, like they really try, like that's the like you're gonna get burnt out. Like that's you're signing up for that because I feel like that's what, I don't know. That's like what we're basically taught to do. It's like to do everything like, oh, you got to take these classes, and it's like an overwhelming amount of classes. They're not easy. Then you got to do extracurriculars, and then some people have to work like we did, and
Hmm
all that stuff. Then you got to study, do homework, group projects. It's just, I think it's just a lot in college, and then you're doing this just so that basically all this stuff so that your resume looks good so that you could apply to a job,
hmm
and then the job that you get, burns you out too. Like you haven't even had time to
Yeah.
recover from the college burnout, then you're into the corporate burnout. Like, and I think that's just like America's like society, like with the
Right.
hustle culture and the work culture, and you
Yeah.
got to grind. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get the grind part. Like, yeah, okay,
Mhm.
obviously nothing's gonna come to you for free. Like, you got to work for things, but child, I don't know if I needed to be working that hard because that was a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think
whew,
that's
child.
also, like you said, the culture we create around it. Like it's like we've kind of normalized it in a way. I think like it's starting to shift, like our generation well, I don't know about college, but specifically like the corporate life culture is starting to change a little bit. I feel like because of our generation. Um
Yeah,
like the younger Gen Z, maybe even millennials a little bit, like we're very much about prioritizing our well-being over our job or like over things that like we seem so pressing but really aren't. Because I don't know, whoever created the grind don't stop, I think was the most toxic thing that they could have created, because I hate that. Like I hated that in college. Like the grind don't stop, the grind don't stop. You take a test, you pull up an
sleep when
all-nighter,
you're dead.
sleep
Sleep
when
when
you're
you're dead.
like all these things, and like you literally have to continue. I told myself that too. I had to tell my, like, the grind doesn't stop, but you have to keep going, you have to keep going, like, and that's what literally causes burn. Like that's not a healthy way to like cope. Like I'm sure, yes, you can use that phrase in a way that like might be slightly motivating for you, like you got to keep going, like you got to keep pushing yourself, but like I feel like it took that to like a new level of like
Yeah,
toxic, like a new level of unhealthy, that like people were just extremely pushing themselves to like points where they shouldn't be. Like everyone's stressed, everyone's like using, they're not health coping with these things like in a healthy way. Most people, and I'm talking about like this generation too, like how many people vape? Like vape is a way for people to
oof.
de-stress. Like that's how stressed out people are. Well, I'm not saying all people, because some people I be seeing vape and do nothing, and I'm like, okay. But like most people in I'm like, what are you stressed about? what
Yeah,
are you
literally.
what are you stressed about?
Running
Tell
out
me.
of the vape.
Yeah,
They're running
like
out of the vape. That's why they're stressed.
but a lot of college students like vape, um they like drink an unhealthy amount, they resort to these things that like they take, they a lot of in college too, it's very normalized for people to take Adderall, which is super
Yeah,
like isn't good for you either. Like if you're not actually prescribed a medication, like that's meant for people who have ADHD, you know what I mean?
yeah,
um and I don't know, I just feel like there's it's created this way of just not dealing with this like everyone's basically facing burnout, and there's no like kind of healthy like coping mechanisms that we're taught. Like yeah, like if everyone's like, oh, de-stress, like go on a walk or do this and that, like yeah, but there's so many other things and like steps to it. um
yeah. Um,
but,
and I agree. And I wanted to just touch on like the part of the grind don't stop. Um, and you were saying like, yeah, you're sure that there's like positive ways to,
mhm,
like use that term. And I think there are like the grind don't stop. Yeah, like push yourself to and put yourself in uncomfortable situations
right,
to make you grow. Not necessarily the grind don't stop, like, okay, you're mentally exhausted, like you literally can't like function type, like push yourself
yeah,
to the brink, like push yourself to do new opportunities, take new risks, things like that is
right,
where it's like, okay, that makes sense. um so yeah, that's what I want to say about that part. It sucks because you're right. Like we're not taught how to cope with that. And it's like when you're in it though, you feel like you when you know if you do notice it and when you notice it, like there's just so much typically going on that
mhm,
you feel like you can't even take a break. Like
right,
you even if you know you need it. Like
mhm,
say like a college for example, like okay, well if I give myself a break, like I need to get these assignments done, like they're due in this many amount of days, it's worth this percentage of my grade, then my grade, it's like you start thinking like you cannot stop, like it's like a hamster wheel basically. In
mhm,
college it's like you have to keep up with everything, and it's just like you're like they don't give any. They have like what, the two damn de-stress days before
yeah,
finals, like come on, be for real. Baby, I
yeah,
need a de-stress semester.
yeah,
Okay, that's what I need, or at least 2 days off. And
yeah,
it's just it just sucks because like a lot of time when people face burnout, like they're in situations where they feel that they can't even take the break even though they know they need it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta work so that I could get money so I could pay for, the rent, or things
Mhm.
like that. Like they just can't take a break even though they really need it. So that's the
Right.
sucky part about it. And it's like I wish that it was more normalized in our
Mhm.
culture to like talk about it and like actually be able to de-stress, at least like with work culture or like in college. Like, who do you turn to in those situations? What are you going to do? Go to HR and say, hey, yeah, I'm mentally
Right.
like exhausted? Like, I think I read like a couple years ago because I wanted to go to throwback. I wanted to go to law school, talk about burnout. But either way, I was thinking about going to law school, and I read something that said like lawyers and I think doctors have the highest percentage of suicide rates, like in for like careers.
Oh,
And I was like,
really?
yeah, I'm gonna step away from this because it's exhausting. Like if you think about it, like
Well,
those
yeah.
jobs are
Well,
exhausting and there's a
I
lot of
think
pressure, there's a lot of
pressure. I
responsibility.
think it's more the pressure. I feel like the
And
hours is one thing, but
responsibility
it's the
too.
responsibility and the pressure if you do something wrong, like people are coming at you, like they're pissed. Like it's
Yeah.
easier to get like someone to point a finger at you.
I mean,
Um,
think about investment bankers. I mean, Jesus, the stress that they're under. I mean, that's people's
yeah.
money. They don't People
Yeah.
don't be playing about their money now. So
Yeah, I
you
can't
make a
imagine.
mistake, see ya. See ya.
Yeah, the
So,
investment banking is one that I hear. Like, yeah, they literally bring their laptops everywhere. Like, it's a
well,
Saturday
yeah.
night, they're bringing their phone, laptop. They got to take a call, like they're leaving, which is like, I don't know. Anyways, but I don't want to get too deep into that because there's another part I wanted to talk about. And so first, I want to talk about like the signs quick of burnout because some people don't even realize that they have it, and like they just think these are normal signs. So I'm just gonna read them out. So the first thing is sense of failure and self doubt. I'm sure we've all felt that at some point. Feeling
Mhm.
helpless, trapped, and defeated. Detachment, feeling alone in the world. Loss of motivation, increasingly cyclical negative outlook, and decreased satisfaction and sense of accomplishment. So basically, like, you're never going to be happy with what gets done. Like, you'll finish a task, you'll still not really be happy. You're not happy
Mhm.
with where your life is. Well, those are just some of the signs. Like, obviously, there's a lot of physical signs too. Like, you physically are tired, like, you can't think straight sometimes.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of state that before I go into this thing because so what kind of made me think about this? Well, I've always realized burnout was a really big thing, especially since college, and it's past, especially like the past year for me. Like I had a horrible, horrible burnout finishing my master's, but I saw this thing on Twitter and I've seen it kind of go viral. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's the how to avoid burnout and get the 7 types of rest that we're supposed to get. Have you seen it?
I think I saw it maybe a couple weeks ago. I feel like
Okay.
that's talked about a decent
Yeah.
amount on Twitter.
Yeah, so it was a Twitter thread, and then I saw it on a few other social media platforms. But I thought it was really interesting because I feel like these are 7 that people don't really take like they don't really think about when they're thinking of like how do I actually need to rest and
Mhm.
recuperate and create a good lifestyle for myself. So the study was done by Dr. Saundra Dalton-Smith. I'll probably leave the source down below. I will leave the source down below. And basically, like I feel like when we
No,
all
no, no BuzzFeed this week. No
no,
BuzzFeed.
no, it's not. Yo, I'm weak. Not the BuzzFeed article from last week. Yeah, no
We
BuzzFeed. This
know.
is serious. A Twitter thread.
Yeah.
That's what we're
Yeah.
referencing right now.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Period.
Um, but yeah, so I think like so it kind of starts off by saying like we all think like physical rest is like important. Like we all need physical rest, which is true. Physical rest is very, 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 very important. I'm not saying it's not important, but a lot of us still feel tired. Like, how many times do we get like on the weekends, like we recover our sleep, but like we still feel exhausted starting the next week? You know what I mean? Like, I feel
Mhm.
like we're all constantly saying like we're tired. And I don't really think it's all based on like the amount of sleep. Like, yes, it could be sleep, but there's also so many other factors. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to start like going through each one, and then we can kind of like discuss it and then go to the next one. But of course, the
Okay.
first type of rest is physical rest. So it's lack of sleep and overtraining your body to like rely on this lack of sleep depletes your body's energy over and then so you kind of need two types of physical rest, passive and active. Passive is sleeping 7+ hours nightly, taking power naps as needed. Active is stretch, get a massage, use an ergonomic chair and desk. So yeah, I feel like we kind of know that, like those are kind of like the basic. Sleep is important.
Yeah.
um and the stretching too, like taking care of your body in a way, getting a
Yeah.
massage, things like that.
I think people genuinely don't understand, like, and I was said people don't
Yeah, when we
understand
say
how
people, we're
we're
people
talking. Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah,
We're
we're talking
literally
about
people.
ourselves most
This
of the time.
podcast sometimes is meant for us to like we're figuring shit
Yeah,
out too. We're helping
exactly.
ourselves. While we're helping ourselves, we're trying to help y'all. If it helps y'all, of course.
Yeah,
Like
facts.
it's
But
not
it's helping us. This is
it's
self
helping us.
help,
This is not
literally.
self-help.
But as I was saying, like, I don't think people genuinely understand how important a good night's sleep is. I'm
Mhm,
not kidding you. I mean, I'm pissed it took me so long to realize it. I mean, it was after college because Natalia knows I mean, everyone that knows me probably knows that I was queen all nighters. Typically, I don't need that much sleep to function. Like, I'll
mhm,
still function and I'll be okay. But I personally noticed it more so, when I was like working out and trying to lose a couple pounds. Like,
mhm.
I realized that I was doing everything right, but the weight was still kind of like not coming off. And as soon as I looked into melatonin, I'm not promoting melatonin or anything like that. Um, I realized that my sleep, I've never gotten better sleep. Like, I didn't realize that I
Mm,
wasn't genuinely going into deep sleep. Like, I was not
yeah.
probably doing my REM cycles for real. Like, like
Well,
I
that
was
might have been
supposed
you
to.
training your body too, because if you weren't used to sleeping like because you also used to have a
Well,
weird
no,
sleep schedule. You would sleep like 4 hours, then nap during the day. Sometimes, like it'd be like
yeah,
split up. Like it wouldn't be a consistent.
but then sometimes I would sleep 12 plus hours. Like, it would
Hmm.
depend on what I had going on for the week.
Right.
Um so I'm mad it took me, until after college to realize, like, sleep is genuinely so important, and like getting good quality sleep. Now, just because you sleep 7 hours, yeah, yeah, you're sleeping 7 hours, but there's times where you wake up and it's like, damn, I'm still tired. Like, and sometimes that's just because you didn't like go deep enough into your sleep. Because when I take
Right.
melatonin, child, I be waking up at 4 a.m. like stretching, birds are chirping. I'm ready to start the day. Now, granted, I go back to sleep because I'm
Well, I
like, why
think
am
that
I up
also
right now?
depends. That depends on the person too. Because some people, I know they take melatonin, they wake up more tired. Because I think
Yeah,
it
you
depends
gotta
on what your
gauge.
body needs. Because some
Yeah,
people
you
like
gotta
I feel like
gauge the
melatonin gives you the hours,
milligrams.
right?
Well, for me, melatonin just puts me in a deeper sleep, and I actually wake up well rested. Whereas, like, if I don't take it, I'm like, I wake up, I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna have to take a nap later today because, like, I'm
Yeah.
already tired. So I just think it's super important. Like, people just analyze your sleeping patterns if you can,
Mhm.
especially,
Yeah.
they say put the phones away before bedtime. That's hard for a
No,
lot of
it's
people.
it's hard, but it's serious. Like I feel like it's a habit that everyone should start getting rid
Yeah,
of because
I want to really bad. I try, but
sometimes it's hard.
it's
But
hard, man, because it's like I'm on my phone because I gotta like text somebody something, and then I'm ready to go to sleep. So I don't have the
yeah,
2 hour no phone, babe. What? 2 hours no phone
I
before
think I
bed?
think
Like,
it's I think a text is different than like being scrolling. You know what I mean?
I be scrolling too, child. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be real. I be scrolling. TikTok be getting me lately,
Yeah,
but
I go on
we
my
move either
TikTok.
way.
Yeah. Anyways, all
Sleep
right. Well,
is
sleep is
well, it's because
important.
my For You page be saying just for you.
Yeah, that's how they
So
get
I be
you.
liking everything now. They curated it real well lately. I don't know what's going on, but either way, sleep is very,
Sleep is
very
important.
important.
There's a whole book you can read on it. Like it's literally if you're all aren't getting sleep, I think that's the first thing you need to readjust. Anyways, the second one, mental rest. So a mental rest deficit is caused by overtaxing your thinking. So like things to kind of help with this are writing down your to-dos, reference checklists like for groceries, packing, etc. Create a shutdown ritual to separate work and life. Take a break from problem solving and meditate. So I feel like this one's just kind of like overusing your brain when you don't need to, which I'm guilty of doing that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I don't know about you, but I am guilty of doing that. Like I don't do Ash knows I don't have an agenda.
Oof.
Um,
Couldn't be me,
I don't.
baby.
Well, I'm starting to kind of get back into it, but I have always been one to like. I'm disorganized, and I'll admit it. Like I've always been disorganized, and I guess I still get things done. It's just more stressful. Like I could make my life easier, but I've always started to have an agenda that I don't keep using. I never referenced it, so I just stopped using it. But like that's important. Writing down your to dos, like, and same with
Oof.
groceries too. Like I never really thought about that, but like when you don't bring a grocery list, like you have to really think like, oh, what did I have? You know, like in my fridge that I need to get. Or, like
Yeah.
what was that one thing I need to eat? Like you're really just
Like,
overtaxing your
what did
brain
I
for
come
no
here
reason.
for? Hmm.
Literally.
Can't
Yeah.
remember. But I got these ice cream sandwiches though. So we out. But
But
no,
things
that's
like
true.
that.
To-do list, I you know me. One
Yeah, it's
thing
just
I'm
more
gonna
of a
do,
to-do list.
one thing I'm going to do is make a to-do list. Am I gonna do it? Am I gonna do everything on the list? Probably not. But one thing about it, I will write it down. I got my little sticky notes. I have a little notepad thing, little
Hmm.
notebook. It's like a little mini. It's so cute. I have
Yeah.
that. I have my agenda. I have my iPad. I'm writing things down, babe. If I have
Yeah.
a list, if I know I'm going to like Target or something, from the night before, I'm like, all right, because late the the going to the store one really be killing me sometimes because I be forgetting. I just be going to Target with just it's just me and
Yeah, and sometimes it's
vibes.
better also financially not to free ball at the store because
Yeah,
you be
that's
getting stuff
I be
you don't
doing
need.
that. Be getting a damn body pillow. What do I need a body pillow for? For real, like think about
Especially
it.
grocery shopping, you end up just getting food that you don't even need. Like I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, maybe
especially
I'll do
like
this.
if you think like especially if you don't have time during the week to actually like think of meals, like going to the grocery store no list, babe,
Yeah,
you are setting yourself up to fail for the week. Personally, that's my opinion. But yeah,
yeah,
I always have a list ready. My problem is more so procrastination, but we digress. But I highly recommend a plan. I don't know how do people
yeah.
function without a
Everyone should
planner?
have a
I
planner, no
couldn't
matter
do it.
what you
I
do with
swear
your
to
life.
God.
A planner, something like keep your life
I don't even
organized,
be
and it
doing
doesn't
much
even
and I
need to
need a
be
planner.
like exactly like if you don't do because I think that's also the thing is people are like they stress out. I don't know if it's like some I don't know. Some people have that thing
I
like they
think
stress
it's
out if they
more
don't get something completed that they write down.
that's me. That's me.
But
But
like
I
yeah,
just
and I
don't do
think
it.
but
I
it's
don't do
also
any of it, so
okay.
it's not bad.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for me, I always knew I write stuff down. Not anymore.
And I don't be doing it. No, I think it's more intimidating. When you list out everything that you have to do, that is overwhelming to the point where actually I'm not going to do none of this.
Yeah.
Move the list to the side, and that's happened to me before too. Like I have so much to do in a day and I'm like, how am I going to do this? I'm already tired and I did one thing. So how am I going to get all of that done? But I think it's important too to realize, just because you have it on a list that doesn't mean you have to get it all done. I mean, maybe you do if it's work related, but I
Hmm.
mean, just giving yourself the ability to just, in the morning, that's what I do, write everything down that I got to get done, that I want to get
Even the
done.
night before, too, people could do for like that way you have it
Even
ready
yeah,
for
the
the.
night before, yeah, for some
Well, whatever
people, the
works
night
for
before is
people.
better. Exactly, whatever works for you. But
Write things
man,
down as you think of them,
write things
too.
down.
Like,
Yes, I
that's
need
a
to
big
get
one
a
for
little
me
better
because
about that.
sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll remember this. And then I have
Net.
Yo, my thing with memory is like I do have really good memory though because of that, but at the same time like I have had some crazy
My
things I have
memory,
to come up with.
my memory sucks. Like I don't know what's going. I think after college, my brain just said, "Yeah, see ya." Like it was just she tapped out with the memory bit. Like I could only memorize like so many damn financial, you know,
Yeah.
formulas and stuff. My brain said, "Yeah,
Well, I think that's why
nothing
mine's
else is
pretty good
spinning."
cuz I practice it cuz I don't write stuff down. But yeah. Anyways, well, the
Mm.
next one, the third, I'm working on that though. But anyways, the third is social rest. So this is evaluating your relationships, friendships, romantic relation, whatever, any type of relationship in your life. Spending more time with people who give you energy, spending less time with people who steal your energy, and if you're an introvert, block out time to be alone. So I feel like that one we talk about a lot on the podcast is just like
Yeah,
we talk about this in general, just evaluating like who you spend your because you will know who you can be in a room with and like either it's just a neutral like you can just sit there, it doesn't take energy or give energy, sometimes it gives energy, or there's times where it's like it takes a lot of energy to be around, like they take a lot from me.
yeah,
um
yep,
and that is
100%.
very draining, and it is right, and it's not that like I don't know, it's such a hard one. What are your opinions on this?
I think college taught me that real well, and I think in college you learn because you're around so many people. I think that's like kind of like the first time you're around so many new people
Mm-hmm.
and you start to get to know them. And it's like, I think it's important to know the difference between a actual friend and an acquaintance or someone that you know.
Right.
Um, for me, I used to always say everybody's my friend. Like if I was explaining something to my parents, be like, "Oh yeah, my friend," just so that it was like I don't know, but no, they're not my
Right.
friend. And it's very, I think, at least for me, I think it's for us to we
Mm-hmm.
know immediately like okay, this person's taking my energy, this person's gives me energy, like I think
Yeah,
that's
we're
really
very good
important.
at telling that, I feel. Like we did talk about this
Yeah,
a lot. Like there's
yeah.
something we can really tell when, and I feel like that's something that we've grown into though. It's definitely not always been there cuz like it's for like you said in college, we're overstimulated by the amount of people you meet and it's like you never
Mhm.
know like who could be like we had some interesting like I feel like we went through a lot of phases. I mean, I went through a lot
I
of
have
phases of
some
people.
to
We
this
both did
day
in
I still
different
got some
ways.
interesting friends.
Well, because you think about like you don't know, and it's like you still had a good time, but it's like I feel like you
Exactly.
never know who's gonna be like a main character, or at least like a character for a decent amount of time. Like there's so many
Exactly.
different people. So you just meet all these people, and you're like giving a lot of people your energy, and it's good and bad. Like you are meeting new people you never know at the same time, but like it's nice to be around the people that you don't need to like be give energy to be around. Like you can just sit in a room in silence. I love that.
Yeah.
If there's like a
Yeah,
friend you can have and
exactly.
just literally sit there and do nothing, like that's when you
Facts.
know
Half the time, me and Natalia, don't, I mean, we be chatting,
we
but
be chatting,
we've
but
sat.
sometimes we literally, yeah,
Sometimes
we
it's
be,
crickets, and
and
we
we're
know
okay.
we understand the assignment. We need crickets right now because it's a lot
Yeah, because like
happens.
a lot, there's no need for like small talk. Like we'll talk, we need to talk, but like there's no need to be like, hey, like to if
And
it's
there's
silent, it's
you have
silent.
to be comfortable with people to be able to
Yeah.
sit in
Well, they say
silence.
there's
You know?
only certain people you can do that with, like family, like if you like
Yeah,
siblings and like cousins or
yeah,
something, like they're like the rare people you can just sit and be in silence with. And that's when you know you have like really, really good friends if you can just sit there and be in
yeah. No
silence.
talking,
No
just
talk
crickets.
and just
Not
vibe.
we're not even on the phone. Just
Just
nothing.
sitting there, like just
Nothing's
thinking.
happening. Like,
It's really rare though, because sometimes it's
but
awkward
it's
when you do that.
exactly with certain people. It's like okay, so
Me and Ash
are we
will
going
literally
to the
just be
club?
we'll just be sitting there.
Like
Straight
deadass.
vibes. And it's not even
But
awkward.
yeah, those are the best times. Like just
Literally, I feel
crickets,
like it
gang.
like bonds us closer. Like it make grows our friendship
Exactly.
even more. We just sit there and it's like I'm vibing.
Yeah.
Especially when we come back from something. And don't get me and we just need a
That's when it's
second. And
crickets.
we need a
That's when it's
second.
crickets.
Yo, we're just sitting there like before we
It's
unpack
because we're
everything.
this I think it's because
We're on the
A
same
lot of
vibe,
times,
honestly.
no, we're literally the same person. Like, I think
Yeah. We've been
because a
around each
lot of
other for a
times,
long
like,
yeah.
exactly, a lot of times, like, I feel like we're introverted people. So
We
like
are.
anytime we
Yes.
go out or anything like a party or go out to the club or something like that, like, babe, we need a second to decompress. We ain't even talking. We just need a
Yeah, we
minute
need to
of
just sit.
silence. When
Especially in the
wasn't we're like
Uber rides.
silence?
Uber rides are silent for us for the most part.
There and
Like
back,
it's
babe.
crickets. There it's a little bit different. We're like, we're not, but on
Sometimes
the
I'm quiet.
well, it
Sometimes I'm trying to
depends.
focus.
But no, the Uber
It
rides
depends, yeah.
back. I'm not talking. I'm not unless it's like unless we have something to actually talk about that we feel like needs to be addressed immediately. Like if something literally
Yeah.
just happened, we're like, all right, let's talk.
Yeah.
But like, for the most part, we're just sitting there in the car and
Facts.
vibing, and no one's got an issue. Like
Mute.
I don't need to chat every second
Facts. What are we talking about?
because,
Let me focus on my breathing, babe.
but
Please.
yeah, you can
But
tell
that's
that with
true.
certain people though. Like I feel like everyone always says it. Like there's certain people that it just takes more energy for you to hang out with, you know? And it's
Hmm.
okay. It doesn't mean they're a bad person or they don't need to be in your life. It just I think it's being attentive of how much energy you're giving that person. You know what I mean? Because if it's
One.
like every day you need to hang out with them, like or constantly they're reaching out, like it's like, okay, like that's a lot,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, and I think you just need to evaluate your friendships sometimes and see, like,
Right.
some friendships are maybe a little bit too high maintenance for you,
Mhm.
and maybe you need to talk to that person, let them know, like, at least for me, I know that I'm introverted, and but most of the time I don't need to talk to you, all the time, so that we know that we're still friends. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
the love will always be there. There's people I haven't even talked to in years, for real.
Yeah.
And like, as soon as we link up again, like, we're like this. Like, it's not even a
That's
problem.
true.
Maybe that's just how I am with my friendships. And majority of the people feel that same way too. Like, we don't have to talk all the
Yeah.
time for us to know. But I also think it's very important to, at least me, I know my social meter be
Yeah. My
draining. And I
social
know
media
my limits, babe.
is I think COVID really impacted that also, like made it worse.
Ooh,
But
made it a
yeah.
hundred times
And
worse.
me and Ash
Babe,
used to be
I'm really not
social.
trying to come out the
We're
house.
still
Like,
but we're still social is the thing. Like we're not just anti when we go out. Like one thing about us is we're gonna chat when we go out. We're meeting friends.
what?
I don't know
Oh,
what
we
it is
making friends
about
in the line.
Ash and
That's my
we be
specialty.
socializing. Yeah, Ash is
Yeah.
more than I, but like we both, I feel like some people get shocked about it, like how social we
Yeah.
are sometimes. We go. I mean, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. There's some nights where I'm just feeling anti, but for the most part, we're pretty social when we go out. And I think that's why we're like when we get back, like, all right,
Yeah, facts,
listen,
babe. I have no more words to speak.
to say.
Okay, I spoke them all at the club.
And
Like,
it's like, and
I got nothing left to
if
say.
we have a conversation to have, it's something that we both have energy to talk about. It's not like a forced thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're going,
Exactly.
we can both talk about it easy, but yeah.
And typically we feel the same way. So it's just us agreeing with each other about the
Exactly, just
topic.
us, like, elevating, "Yup, yep, yep," we just so it's something that we
Yep.
have to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, girl,
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I didn't want to say it, but you
I
said it,
know.
so I'ma say it too.
We ju
Like, we here with it. We
It's like
locked in.
piggybacking off of that. There we go.
Piggybacking off of what Natalia said, I would have
It's
to
literally just
agree.
us 2. We do
We
have a few
literally
other
do that
friends we
all the
can do
time.
this with. We do have a few other friends we can do this
Oh
with, but
yeah,
it
for
is
sure. For
just
in
funny.
this
But
example, it's me and Natalia
it's
just
us.
literally
Yeah.
chatting back and
But yeah, I
forth.
do have a lot of yeah. But okay, so the fourth one is spiritual rest. So I feel like this is one that like I feel like the ones we've talked about so far are ones like people really talk and they are very important, but these next ones are like
Hmm.
interesting. Okay. Spiritual rest is being a part of something that's bigger than yourself. So whether it's volunteering, working a job that feels purpose driven, participating in faith based activities if that aligns with your belief system or things along those lines. Which I never really realize like for me I think like doing these things like was important for my values and the life I wanted to live, but I also like now it's giving me perspective how important it is to be able to like be at like it is a type of rest, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
To do things
Yeah.
that like align with your values and make you feel like you're doing something good, make you feel like you're contributing in a positive way, you know? Because
Exactly.
it is exhausting to do things you don't align with. You know what I mean? It goes directly against you. It takes from you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. I agree as well. And like especially like you said, like things that make you feel good, like you're doing something right,
mhm.
especially when if you're working a job,
Yeah, the
and you
job
feel
ones.
like you're never enough, or you're in school and it's just like
Or you just hate
you
it
don't
too.
yeah, or you just hate it in
And
general,
you don't
like
align
things
with it
like
at all.
that.
Yeah, that can be exhausting.
Exactly, like things like that definitely could help.
Which a
I
lot of people
definitely want to.
face too.
Yeah, yeah, of course. A lot of people face that.
The job
So
one.
I think that's definitely something that more people should kind of look into, like
Right.
volunteer work and things like that, because it is true. Like, I do, when I used to volunteer, I think this was in high school, like,
Mhm.
I loved it. Like, I
Mhm.
didn't mind it. And, like, I felt like I was actually doing something. Even when, I'm not going to give, our previous employer any clout, our first employer. But I did like that job because it did align with my values, with
Right, of
helping
helping others, yeah.
others that actually need help,
Right.
and we're appreciative of your help. And, you'd get their cane for them. They really appreciate, just helping them. That was one of the perks of working
Mhm.
at a nursing home, is actually being able to help people that, can't really help themselves that much. And you feel like you purposeful. Like what you're doing matters to somebody,
Right.
and it's helping them. So definitely, I think that's something people should really look into. I mean, I think I might. I've been thinking about volunteering at like a local, like, what is it, kitchen, like soup
Yeah, that's a
kitchen.
nice one too because you like meet people and stuff and
Yeah,
interact
and
with
like
them.
in the community and stuff. So
Right. I feel like
I'll
being a part
see.
of your community is very overlooked. Like, and I hate how volunteering has almost become like a job for some people. Like, I feel like
Hmm.
for high school, like you felt like you needed to volunteer to be able to look good in college. College, you kind of did similar thing
Well,
to
we
like
literally had
res-
to
well,
for
we
our
had
class. Like,
oh, forgot about
if you,
that for a class. I had to
for
do it for my
yeah,
confirmation too. But
yeah,
I always did more hours than I had to. I liked doing it. My parents always
yeah,
encouraged me to
same.
do it. I still volunteer in a lot of ways. Like, and it doesn't at this point. The volunteering I'm doing has not really any benefit to like because I feel like before you're like, oh, it's for college or it's to look good on your resume to do these things.
Hmm.
At this point, I'm volunteering because I care about, the cause or I care about what I'm doing. I care about the impact I'm going to have. It makes me feel good. And I feel like ultimately you want to do things that make you feel good. Like, and the
Exactly.
job one's hard because a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot, but a good majority of people aren't content with their job. And it's either because they don't align with what they're doing, they don't feel like it's fulfilling any purpose. And like, if it's in your control, I feel like, in the long term, it is better to just end up switching jobs or doing something else if you have the ability and the luxury to do that,
Yeah.
because that
I
does take a lot out of you mentally, you know?
Exactly. And I think the sad thing is that a lot of times we're so overworked that we
Mhm.
can't even realize, yes, we realize, okay, this, I don't want to do this, like I'm not
Mhm.
happy with what I'm doing. But a lot of times we don't even have the time or the ability to even try to figure out what we like or what we actually enjoy to even try to
Mhm.
go venture out. So that's why a lot of times I feel like people are kind of, I mean, obviously there's multiple factors into why people stay, in majors that they're not happy in or jobs that they're not happy in. There's multiple factors in that, but also being overworked, overstimulated, so much going on. Like, you
Right.
don't even have time to, volunteer or go find a
Right.
hobby or
You're
something
too
like that.
tired,
That's
yeah,
like, exactly, you're too tired. And
or
I
you're
don't
too
think
burnt
that's
out to do
by
that.
Exactly. And I don't think that's by accident. I think that's by design, by,
Mhm.
you know, the
The society
people.
we've basically been drawn into.
Exactly, because they
Yeah,
don't
that's true.
want you to, not me sound like DJ Khaled. They don't want to see you. They don't want to
No, but
see
it's
you
true.
happy. But it's true, and it's really sad, and I think that that happens to a lot of people too. It's like we think that certain majors are, what we should do. It makes more sense. But honestly, let me tell you, them art majors probably happy as hell right now. Okay,
Right.
they're probably vibing
Living in
in
like
college.
yeah.
Me over here crying, stressed,
Right.
no sleep. Coffee don't even work no more. Like nothing even work. Like my caffeine tolerance is stupid high. Like all because
Yeah.
for what? Like all to go into a job that I'm not even like passionate about or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
I
think
think it's
that
definitely important to find things that
align with
genuinely
values
make you happy and align with your values. And hopefully you can find a way to turn that, find a
into a
career in that.
financial, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because I think
Because I mean,
financial is also important in an aspect because, you know,
exactly.
and I think it's not naive. I think like it is great for people to think, do this. But like for some people, it's like, no, I literally have bills to pay, I have loans to pay, I have family to support,
Exactly.
and things like that.
Yep.
So yeah, we're not ignoring that. We're just saying like, if you have the luxury and the ability to switch jobs or do something that makes you a little bit more happy and still is able to financially like afford your lifestyle, then you should definitely do it, or you should look for a way. At least try to look, because I think
Hmm.
people always think they're so stuck in this bubble that they have to stay in this job. And like I think the biggest thing like I've always learned in my like I always tell myself in life is like nothing is permanent. You know what I mean? Everything is
For sure.
temporary, and like I think if you're not happy, like we've said it so many times on this podcast, and I always praise this, like we're meant to be here to live a good life and to do what makes us happy. And that is the whole point of
Exactly.
life. Like we're not here to be a slave to society, to be miserable, to not even do anything, feel like our energy is constantly being drained. Like we're meant to feel good. Like we want to do things that make us feel good. And like,
Hmm.
and obviously that comes with balance. Like, we still have to pay bills and stuff, but at least do it in a way that makes you happy, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or at least find something, I saw this thing on TikTok, and I think I said on the podcast before, like treat your
Mhm.
job like a side hustle.
Exactly.
And it's true. Like don't
Well,
put
for
all your
some, yeah.
energy. For some,
Well, yeah.
if you have time to volunteer or to do things that you
Your
genuinely
passion,
enjoy, I
yeah.
mean, yeah, that you're passionate about, or you don't even know what you're passionate about, but just try new things. Definitely take the time, even if, maybe it's not that often. Maybe you don't have that luxury. Maybe it's like once a month you could actually, take a day to go painting, do a wine and sip or something, something that you actually enjoy to do,
Right.
maybe connect
Well,
back
I
with that
think,
inner child, baby.
yeah. Or
That's
just
where,
Yeah, connect. I
yeah.
think that, and just I feel like people really lose sight of values is so important. Like everyone always
Hmm.
talks about values, but then rarely does anything to do that aligns with them. And I'm not saying
Yeah,
people are
they always talk
hypocritical.
about the,
Yeah, they're
but
talking
we're
about
all
money.
hypocrites. We're
We're all,
human,
yeah,
so
we're
yeah.
human, but it's like I think when it comes to our values, like don't forget about them, and like you need to kind of give love to that too, because in the end that is what really makes us who we are, and like that's what really
Hmm.
needs to align. So anyways,
Yeah.
we should jump to the next one because there's still three more. So the fifth one is sensory rest. So basically talking about how we're overstimulated. I feel like we've kind of talked about this. So
Yeah.
this is taking a break from social media, turning off notifications, including sounds and visual alerts, limiting video meetings, set a relaxing evening ambiance, soothing music, candles, etc. Um,
Child, I'm the queen of do not disturb. My
D
phone
and
is on
D.
do not
We're
dis
both the queens of D and D
my phone is
because
on do not disturb. I'm not 24
well,
hours a
mine
day, but
used to
like
be.
mine's on all the time, and then it switches to sleep mode. So like you really can't contact
Oh
me,
yeah,
babe.
sleep mode is you're not contacting me unless it's
Yeah.
like I have few people that can in case of emergency, but mine used to
Nope.
always be on D and D because like I hated the sound always going off. It just stressed me
Mm.
out. Like I used to stay
Yeah.
having my phone on D and D until people started getting pissed because I would never see their text. So I'm like, all right, like, and then I think recently, this might have been like a few months ago, I turned it off D and D because I actually had like moving and stuff. I had to actually keep it aware of like, if you didn't
Exactly.
answer that phone call, you're not getting an apartment basically. So like
Yeah,
now I've kind
babe.
of got like when it comes to
That
that point,
couch
like
ain't coming. It's at
things like
UPS.
that.
Go pick it up.
Yeah. So I think
Well,
like
yeah.
I think at least when you're sleeping or when you have the time, like set up D&D, whether it's you have emergency contacts, like I always have emergency contacts. Like my family is always on, like no matter what. Like no matter what, I'll be able to hear their texts. Um
Yeah, I should probably change it so that in the sleep mode my parents can text me, but I mean,
yeah, I always have that cuz also I don't think I would be able to sleep without knowing that. So that's just for my
uh
own kind of security because in case something happens, like I want to know. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
so I like to
I mean,
subconsciously be. But yeah, I think it depends for
yeah.
people. You're also closer, I think physically closer to your family, so I'd be a little bit different. I think
Yeah,
since I'm
exactly. Yeah, so
further.
it's not. Yeah, exactly. If I was further, then yeah, I would definitely do that. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't. I think ever since I got Instagram, I never had notifications on. Still don't to this day.
Oh yeah,
Don't have
Instagram
Snapchat
would never do.
notifications. Um,
Snapchat, I think
I
I
have
had
no
for a
social
little bit.
media notifications actually. None.
I think
No, the
Snapchat was the only
only
one I
one.
recently got, or not recently,
Yeah,
but I
no,
don't even
not.
snap anyone, so I barely get any
Yeah, I
notifications.
snap like once a day, and then that's all you're getting from me,
I
babe.
yeah,
But
neither.
yeah. But
I don't get that.
yeah, I think the only thing that I get, I mean, and my phone's on D&D, so I really don't even get the notifications anymore. But email, certain people texting me, that's it. Like
Yeah.
I
Well, I
I
think
don't play those games, and I've learned that from high school that yeah, these are actual distractions to me.
no, they're
The
actually
ping,
distracting.
because when I hear a
I hate when
ping, I'm
people
like, "Oh,
have
so who's texting me
I
now?"
hate when
Is it my
people
little
have
boo
their
thing?
sound on. I hate when they have their sound down loud. Like, I get a buzz is one thing, but the
Yeah.
sound, I'm like, "Yo, who needs" it's like, "Ping, ping." I'm like, "Yo, are you deaf?
The
I
thing
know you
is,
hear your phone."
yeah, the thing is, I sometimes I have to turn my sound on because if I haven't been wearing my Apple Watch in a long time, my Apple Watch just vibrates and I see who texts me, da da da. Da, so I won't have my sound on typically. But lately, I haven't been wearing my watch, so and I always have my phone on silent is the problem, so I can't
Yeah,
find the phone, or my parents are calling me, don't know.
yeah,
And lately, I've been very like I've been working a lot on like my laptop, which I have D&D on my laptop too because I have a Mac. So the
mhm,
notifications, child, I'm not trying to get them notifications either. So a lot of times I leave my phone in another room and I don't even know it's going off. Like I'm not in touch at all, which I
mhm.
like.
It
But
is
sometimes I'm
nice.
like, okay, I need to turn the sound on because like somebody finna call me and I'm not even
Right.
gonna know. So
Yeah.
but that's it. D&D, ooh, queen of that. And
I
I
think
don't
it's
understand how
very
people have social media notifications. I
oh
could not. I literally could
gosh,
not.
I could no.
The thought gives me
I think I only
anxiety.
did that one time to like when it was Bad Bunny, he was gonna do his live. He wasn't starting on time, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna turn my notifications on. So like
Yeah.
automatic. But that's it. I've never had it, so I could get. Oh God, no, I can't even think about that. But anyways,
Yeah. Mm-mm.
turn off the
I'll see it
sounds.
when I open the
I
app.
get stressed out when I
That's
hear other
it.
people's sounds. I'm like, it's too word ding ding ding.
If
We're
it's like yeah,
we're
if it's back to
literally,
back, it's like all
when
right,
we
babe. Like
see like videos or like kind of like quick like what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a trailer to like a social media movie, and they're like
mm-hmm.
ping, 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 dee, dee, dee.
Yeah.
Like that's literally
Yeah.
the life we live in, though. If you think about it, like everything, like typing, sounds hitting, like it's. Oh, I feel like it's subconsciously overwhelming that we've gotten used to it, but it is. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I
just
mean, some
silence and
people,
chill music
certain
is so nice.
sounds trigger people.
Oh,
I
the
mean,
alarm clock.
that teams, that teams
Oh
sound.
God,
Yeah, goodbye. Triggered,
Teams is
traumatized.
Teams. Yeah, Teams is something.
That team's phone call ring. Yeah, no, turn it
Yeah,
off.
I'm. Oh my god. Yeah.
So
Anyways,
yeah,
yeah.
notifications.
Listen,
Be mindful of that, child. I don't know
be mindful.
if y'all got
Sounds.
social media notifications on. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at you a little like there's, you're different.
Well,
You're
some people
different.
need it for like their business, but I don't know.
Yeah, but still, child. Oh God,
Anyways, all
that
right.
triggers me. Mm.
Okay. 6 is emotional rest. So Emotional rest deficit occurs when you feel like you can't be authentic. Example here is an airline attendant who must always be smiling despite rude passengers. So the tips to this are spending time with people you can be authentic around, and try speaking with like a therapist or someone to help release like emotional burden or things that you feel like you can't. Like if you have no one to be authentic and to release this, to have a therapist. Um,
Yeah. Ooh.
oh gosh, that's a good. I feel like we just talked about this kind of though with the be around be around people who like don't take from your energy, who you can just literally be you.
Exactly.
Like
But that's the thing. It's like
that's so
some jobs
refreshing,
like that's you don't have a choice who you're around,
right?
working in retail, working at the nursing home. I mean, we had to put on a smile even though, I know everybody has interacted with some mean old people.
Mean
And
people.
let me tell you, there was not a shortage of that at the nursing home. We'll
Yeah,
say
there
that.
wasn't. And also, I think some people's faces like naturally like okay, I have RBF. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if
we
I'm just
you
looking,
definitely did.
I'm just looking, and it's
Yeah.
like, and people I hear people like smile. Like yeah, I'm gonna smile when I want to smile. But if I'm just no, like
Yeah.
that one emoji, the straight
With
face
the two dots.
with the
Yeah.
two dots, like that's gonna be me. So like I don't have to.
Smile all the time. Yeah.
Hey, like yeah, like I like to bring good energy, but it's like I don't need to be walking around like I know yes, like you like
Yeah.
to be around people who are smiley, but like also some people just literally just I don't want to do anything with my face right now. And I mean, I think that's
Facts.
also
Like,
a
who are
men
you?
insinuated thing that when men always tell women, "Oh, smile, smile,"
Yeah,
which it's
I
annoying.
that's when you're
It's
gonna
like
get the
it's
angry face.
yeah, you're gonna.
You're
It's
not
like
gonna see things in the right way that you want to see them.
but you know what I
Okay.
mean? It's like when, especially if it just, I hate how RBF is only for women because I see men who just have
Yeah.
their faces and it's just like
Ooh,
they don't
they
look
got
mean
some
too.
mean
They got
faces,
some
man.
mean, worse than women. Like, why is it just women who have to do this? Like, it just irritates me because it's like I'm not upset. I'm not. I don't even. I've seen people with worse RBF. I just be like
Yeah.
this, no emotion. I don't be
Yeah. Yeah.
squinting. I see men who do that,
Yeah, facts.
squinting
Well,
their
men,
eyebrows. Like, I'm just vibing. Like, are you okay?
facts.
Smile. I'm great, thank you. I'm smiling on the
Yeah.
inside. Like, I just don't want to move my face right now. Like, I can't just vibe here. I hate when
Exactly.
people tell us that
Nah.
because we both just be serious sometimes. You know what I mean? Not
And
serious. We just be there
exactly.
with our faces.
Yeah, why can't I just be? Leave me
Yeah.
alone. How about
It's like,
that?
oh, you're not happy. Like, no, and all props to the girls or who can just be because there are girls like just naturally have a smiling face and who always are very
I mean, and I
cheery and
think that's
happy.
me.
And
I feel like I smile a good amount. Like
you
I'm pretty
do, but I'm
smiley.
talking about the
But
ones that
this
are constantly like, "Hey," like with a high pitched voice, like always have a smile. Yeah, like those type. That it's like,
yeah,
yeah, that's not gonna be me. I'm sorry. Like it's just not naturally who I am, and like I'm not gonna try to fake and put all this energy into that. Like I'll
but that's
smile.
draining.
It's
Exactly. Like
draining.
having to
Yeah,
fake that like all the
yeah,
time, like smiling all the time, like everything's perfect. Like you just got to no matter what's going on at home, you just got to smile anyway. Like,
right. And it's
ciao.
like, yeah, I don't know
Either
honestly.
way. Yeah,
Find people you can be authentic around that don't drain your social
that's
media. Just let you be you
and
because
you don't have to be
be
smiley
critic
all the time with them.
right,
Like
and also when you're with people you're authentically with, you're always smiling. Like, I feel like when I'm with my friends, I can
facts.
be authentically me. I'm always
I'm
we.
laughing.
I'm
I'm
laughing, I'm smiling,
laughing.
and it's like that's what I'm gonna start telling people too. Is like when they start saying smile, I'm gonna be like, say something funny then. Be funny.
Ooh,
Be
ooh.
I'm waiting. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
waiting for the
I'm gonna
joke comedian.
continue. I'm waiting for the joke. Smile. Are you pissed? Are you saying something funny? Do I need to be
Yeah,
ha ha hee hee?
exactly.
Like wait
No,
till
you're actually pissing me off. Actually.
and I
So
think
why
it's
don't
different.
you
Like
digress?
come and I swear to God, people who don't know you will always say that. Like because when I'm genuinely like when we're with our group of friends, like we're weak, we're in
Oh,
tears,
I'm done.
laughing, like, and that's when you know you're around like authentically like people that
Yeah,
make you feel like you be yourself. But yeah.
yeah,
Anyways, I feel like that's a good one. We'll jump
yeah. I
to the
think so
last
too.
one. Which is the seventh is creative rest. So appreciate beauty in any form, whether natural or human created. So natural is take in the sunrise or sunset, go for a walk in nature, human created, visit a museum or an art festival, engage with inspiring music, books, and documentaries. I feel like we're both really good at that, honestly. Like
Yeah,
we do
I'd
enough
say.
of that, I'd say. Because we like to we could just sit, like I feel like our trips this summer too, we would just sit and just appreciate like the sunset
Yeah.
or the sunrise. Like when we
Yeah.
were in Puerto Rico, like just sitting on the
Child.
balcony. Like that one thing about us is we're gonna appreciate a view,
What?
an
One
ambiance,
thing
a
me and
setting.
Natalia don't play about is a setting and a view
And
and a sunset.
the sunset.
Sunrise, we'll take it all
We'll
four.
take it all. Like it doesn't matter. We're one thing to just appreciate, like, and just vibe. You know what I mean? Like we won't ruin the moment.
Exactly.
They get just straight
Exactly.
vibes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah,
going like
that sunrise, child. Woo!
yeah,
That
that
was
was
after
oh
a
gosh, that was
long
after a
night.
long
But
night. But yeah, it was
yeah,
so
but
nice. I was just appreciating and
it
like
was
even going
beautiful.
in
I get
nature. Yeah.
emotional. I get emotional. Like sunrise,
Right.
sunsets, sunrises. I think those, and I feel like a lot of people do that too because it's hard
Right.
to miss, especially if you're
Because they're
outside, like
really nice. I feel like it's
to
something
not
really
like exactly to not like appreciate that. Like some sunsets, I'm not gonna lie to you, I be dropping a little tear,
well. It's just to
but
think
I'm
about that's
sensitive like
nature.
that.
That's
Exactly,
natural. That's made by like Mother Nature. Like it's not something we're artificially creating. It's just nature. You know what I mean? Doing its
exactly.
thing. I mean, mind
Yeah,
you, don't get me wrong. Human impact does affect how sunsets look sometimes with pollution and stuff.
I
But
knew you were gonna. I knew you
apart
were
from
gonna.
that, um, no, I think it's nice. And like the taking a walk in nature, like I love doing that. Like I just love going for walks or like I don't know, just strolling, like going for a hike or like just really like doing things like experiences. I feel like we're really based on experiences, like going to
Yeah,
concerts, like just appreciating something. So
yeah.
yeah. I think
I
that one's
agree.
a good one. I really like that one. Like that's a important one to include in your
And
life.
I think that's a pretty simple one too. I mean, just literally just go outside,
Yeah,
look
and just
around.
yeah, I don't know. And
I
I think
mean,
you're right, and it can
wherever
be
you are,
inspiring
man
in different
made.
ways.
Exactly, wherever you are, if you step outside, wherever you are, man made, nature made, like there's gonna be something beautiful around you. You just
Something
have to find it.
exactly. Like
You
we
just
all
have to
live
see
in
the beauty
different
in it.
parts of the world, but like it's just crazy to think that we have so many beautiful spots that like some person might live somewhere and another person might be begging to see that place. And they
Exactly.
might
Yeah.
hate it. So it's just
Yeah.
yeah, just appreciating it. I think that goes into gratitude too, just being grateful of like these small things because once you start incorporating that into your life, like you just I don't know, it improves your quality of life in my opinion when you start
A,
just being
a,
grateful.
100%. 100%. Gratitude is literally key. Like I stand by that. So
Yeah. But yeah, so those were the seven kind of rest things and like the last little part of this, so there's a rest quiz. I'm gonna leave it in the show notes so people we can do it. Maybe we didn't do it prior, but maybe we'll do briefly at like for next episode. Do like if we recap in the beginning or
yeah.
something. But so according to the person, so Dr. Dalton-Smith who kind of wrote this whole article, um, so they recommend like taking the quiz and focusing on 1 to 2 of your biggest rest deficits, and not
Hmm.
trying to do everything at once. Like obviously, it's nice to think like, oh, I want to do other things, which I think is good to always keep in the back of your head that you want to try to incorporate this, but really putting a lot of attention into like the top two that like
Yeah.
are really like lacking right now. And then like they said over time, like creating daily and weekly habits to like get all seven, um, which I think is a great recommendation. Like this is just even reading these, like almost like I don't know, I learned a lot from this, in my opinion.
Yeah,
'Cause
I think I saw something similar like this on Instagram.
Mhm.
But that just goes to show that everything on social media, you don't just because you see it, that doesn't necessarily mean you
You're
consume it
actually
and
consuming and
digest it.
processing. It's a great point.
Exactly, because I
Even on
saw it and I
TikTok,
think
we
I
see things, yeah.
bookmarked it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you
do
know
we go
me.
back? It's yeah, or we save it? Yeah.
One
Do
thing
we
about
actually
me,
go back?
I I'm gonna hit that bookmark
Yeah, me too. And
all
or
the
that
time,
save on
and I'm
TikTok. Am I gonna refer back to it?
never seen it again.
But we're
It's
still, but
lost
that's
in the
it.
bookmark.
Well, that's why it's important to kind of discuss these things and actually have a conversation and like unpack and see like how we're actually incorporating this, how we're not. You know what I mean? So, you know,
Yeah, 100%.
like we said,
Yeah, I'm
the
definitely gonna
podcast.
take the quiz.
Yeah, me
It
too.
definitely taught me a couple things too. I mean, the spiritual rest is something that I definitely want to like focus on too,
Right.
just like off rip, like personally.
Hmm.
So I definitely think us talking about this, child, we really meant it when we said this is for us, and y'all just
Right.
apply
And
the
I think that was
rules.
kind of like it's so funny because this episode specifically made me realize like I feel like kind of the purpose like we started this podcast was kind of like to document things we're kind of like learning as we go, you know what I mean? Like in our
Mhm.
20s and like
Yeah,
all sharing it with the world too and like the listeners. Cause like I feel like a lot of things are pretty applicable. You know, some people go through different things. I like listening to what people learn, you know. We're learning a lot of
yeah.
lessons and
Well,
we're showing it.
what is the quote? It's like a wise man what like learns from other people's mistakes
Exactly.
instead of having to make those mistakes on their own. So, child, I be living vicariously through my friends and learning from their mistakes. But, child, on on the podcast right here, you learn from our mistakes. You hearing what we do wrong all the time. Our
Exactly.
downfalls,
And it makes you
our
think
top
like, am I, is this something I need to work on? You know, I don't know. I
exactly.
hope it
Yeah.
provokes some. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you know, we hope this gets to the right listeners, like who I feel like everyone
If
can
it
take
doesn't
something from
apply,
this.
let it fly.
Yeah,
But I
send this
think
to
this is
everyone.
applicable to everybody.
I think no matter age, gender, race, no matter what, this is applicable to every single
Yeah.
person. If
We
you are
tired.
human, you can relate.
If
If
you have a
you're
heartbeat,
part of
even
the
the
human
squirrels are
race.
tired, babe. The squirrels are tired too.
Oh
So
man, I'm
we're
weak.
gonna send this to
Anyways,
them.
yeah. But we'll leave the quiz below. I think that's enough for a put you on segment this week. The quiz is enough.
The
Mentally, we're
quiz,
taking a
yeah.
break this week.
Yeah, this
take
is
the
our
quiz,
break.
take the quiz, and
Taking the
let us
quiz.
know. We hope you guys learned something from this episode, enjoyed it, and yeah, we hope you guys have been enjoying our episodes lately. Give us some feedback as
Yeah, let us
usual.
know. Let us know how you be feeling
Let us know if
about,
you have a topic you want us to discuss. If it's something like this or whatever, like, you know, one thing about us is we're going to unpack. We're going to go line for line. Read.
okay? We go line for
We're
line,
getting
and then guess what we're gonna do?
analytical with Twitter
We're gonna
threads.
go in between those lines too. Okay, we diving deep. Okay, so don't you
Oh,
worry about that.
gosh.
Just send us a topic. We'll figure it out. Oh, we'll find out a way to talk about it for an hour. Don't you worry. But other than that, yeah, I hope this episode really. I mean, I think
Resonated,
this
yeah.
episode helped us, so I really
Yeah.
do hope
So
it
I think it's
helps.
going to help someone. Send it to people. Honestly, we say this every week, like, send this on, not even to promote the pod. Just send this
Just
episode because
on some
someone
like,
could learn
babe.
from this. I know
I
you
know you're
all are
tired
thinking of
too, babe.
a handful of people that could be like, yeah, I'll benefit from this, but I also know a handful of people that could benefit from this. So, yeah.
Exactly. So, other than that, I guess we'll close out the show. We gave y'all a lot to think
We gave y'all
about, a lot to work
a
on.
lot to
Okay,
start.
we got
You're,
a lot to work on too.
yeah, if you're
So we're
starting your
gonna
day
come
with
back
this,
next.
they're gonna be thinking all day, shit, what are these rest deficits I got? Let me take
Yeah,
this.
facts. Cause I'm at work tired, but I'm gonna take the quiz. I know that's right, as you should.
As you
Okay.
should. Um,
Um,
but
but
yeah,
yeah, we hope that this episode helped everybody. Make sure you rate
do
the
the usual.
podcast, like it on YouTube,
Like it,
subscribe, um,
share,
share it.
and follow or just follow our socials. Go hit the like on our Instagrams. I think we're shadow banned on Instagram. So
Yeah,
go
they don't want to see
like
us
it. They
succeed.
don't want to see us succeed. Where it's kind of sad,
All
but
right.
it is what it is. So go engage with our content if you
We
can.
speaking that real. They
Um,
ain't ready for it.
yeah,
That's
they
why.
weren't ready for it.
But either
But
way,
yeah,
we hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
and
Um,
day if you're listening to this in the morning.
and day, obviously, or night. Child, cheers.
One thing about
Whatever
us
you
is
try to do.
we're dragging the outro, but anyways,
Every week.
every
Outro
week
is getting
we don't
dragged.
want to say bye to y'all. We don't want to say bye to y'all.
Exactly. We love y'all too much.
We love you.
Okay. Let me
Um,
tell you, everybody already clicked out. Guaranteed.
everyone definitely
They
clicked
already
out. If
turned it
you
off.
still here, you a real one. But
You
anyways,
a real
so
one. And we
Thank you
appreciate
guys
you.
for listening, and we will catch you guys next week.